Good morning to you.
What does the signing of this bill into law mean for yourself and the gay community back home in Uganda?
Well, for myself, it actually means that doing what I'm doing right now, I'm promoting homosexuality. And if South Africa has an extradition treaty with Uganda, then I can be sent back home and be charged. For those who are home, it just means that it is open season. Now they can be arrested for something as simple as touching, because there is criminalization of homosexual touch, and there is criminalization of everything gay, and of course promotion of homosexuality.
Now, how difficult was it for you in Uganda, being an openly gay activist and also a professional?
You know, in such a country, we live in a state of fear. So you hide yourself. You have people who know that you are gay. You have social contacts who know that you are gay. And then there are the other people who must not know that you are gay. So all the time that I was working there, and when I started working on HIV amongst gay people in Uganda, I was like, I have to go say that this is a professional part of me. But then after time, it was like, why should these two parts of my life not mix? So I made a decision when I was asked to go to International AIDS conference in DC in 2012 that I'm going to talk about this openly and say that I'm a gay physician in Uganda.
Mm-hmm. Now, President Museveni says his decision is backed by science. For you, being a qualified gay doctor, that must be a bitter pill to swallow. Tell us why.
Well, you know what, I looked at the scientific report which was produced by the Ministry of Health, and it really did not, it was not the same as what the politicians were saying. And I would tell him that actually in Nazi Germany and in apartheid South Africa, gay people were being persecuted because of their science, because of the science that that those guys thought was prevalent then. It's just a pity that Uganda goes so much backwards to be put on the same plane as apartheid South Africa and Nazi Germany.
This scientific report prepared for the president, who are these scientists?
The scientists were some 2 or 3 pathologists. There was a psychiatrist, as far as I know, and then there are some ministry officials. What they said was basically that gay Africans existed. We have been here in Africa even before the colonialists came. They also said that we are a minority. You know, there is this fear that, especially in Uganda, that we propagate, that we make people gay. So it's through fear, it is through this hostility, it is through this ignorance that this law was actually promoted, and of course the politics of it. Mm-hmm. So the scientists basically were saying, okay, this is the scientific nature of what they are talking about. But unfortunately, the politicians just went ahead and said, this is we need some grounds, and the grounds have been given for us to say that these guys these guys were made gay, so we have to unmake them.
Mm-hmm. Now, some lobby groups have threatened to challenge this law in Uganda, in the Ugandan courts. What are the chances of them succeeding, you think?
The chances are good. The law is really stupid. I mean, it's really what I mean. Criminalizing a touch, okay? Criminalizing a homosexual touch, making people who, I mean, if I have sex with somebody else and I'm arrested and then I'm charged as aggravated homosexuality, immediately my HIV status is checked, and immediately then it becomes aggravated homosexuality, and then they want to remand me in prison until the trial, and of course after the trial I get life imprisonment. You know, we believe the law actually is against the constitution of the country. That is why we have this, we have come up with a legal team to challenge it in the courts of Uganda. There is a possibility, of course, that that parts of it will stand. we hope to challenge a significant number of those parts, like those which tell our landlords to report us or to deny us residence because to deny us residence when they get to know that we are gay and we are living in a house and having sex there. Well, the Constitution of Uganda says that we have a right to stay somewhere, at least. So it's that kind of thing. Hopefully we will be able to do something about it.
Social media is buzzing this morning saying that this is not right, that the president did a wrong thing. The US president is also not happy. They're reviewing their support and financial support to Uganda. But how rife is the anti-gay sentiment in Uganda itself?
It is rife. It is rife. I mean, it's not. It's a matter of fact that in my fractured existence in Uganda, I would come across at work and with the people who didn't know that I was gay, I would come across people who would say, "Why don't they kill them off? Okay, why don't they send them to an island or something?" That's what the Mufti of Uganda once said, that why not send them to an island in Lake Victoria so that they all die there? They don't reproduce. We don't want them. It is that kind of sentiment that we are evil. You know, our friends who are straight tend to think that we gay people have tails and horns, and they don't expect that the people that they are talking to are actually them, are actually amongst them. And when we are there, we are too fearful. We are not able to. You are not able to come out. You know, when you come out, it's like me. I came out and I did it in Washington D.C. at a press, not even a press conference, at a big international meeting. But then I said, I'm not going to go back. I mean, when they were taking me, when immigration was taking me back last week, I got to the plane and I was like, this is the most horrible thing. If I get onto this plane, I might die there. That kind of primeval fear is something which you grow up with, you live with on a day-to-day basis. And, well, it shapes everything that you do.
But that fortune for you, and unfortunately for you, has changed. What is your current status with Home Affairs here in South Africa?
Well, I have a special skills permit for the next 3 years. So I will be able to stay, I'll be able to travel as needs be. Well, hopefully South Africa is not going to deport me, since if Uganda sends over a request, and none of the other countries that I go to is going to honor a request for me, because I'm a self-confessed gay Ugandan who is promoting homosexuality outside the country.
Dr. Paul Semugamo, just in closing, your message to the gay community out there.
My message to the gay community: please be strong and just hold hands with the Ugandans. The times are tough, but, well, we can live through this. I mean, we lived through Nazi Germany, we lived through the apartheid regime in South Africa. People power can work for us. And this law, yes, it is law now, but it can and will be repealed. We shall fight on. This is just a stumbling block. It does not mean that we are not human beings. It just means that there are people out there who think that we are worse than them. And we need to make them know and understand that we are their brothers, sisters, we are their fathers, and we are their relatives. And we share this beautiful world with them.
Doctor, thank you so much for your time and good luck.
Thank you.
That was Dr. Paul Semugamo, an openly gay Ugandan activist, joining us from our studios in Cape Town. As you heard, that anti-gay law has been passed by Museveni, the president there, and it's a bleak day for human rights in the world. Right now, we take a look at your weather forecast with Philip Hawkins.
Thank you very much. Now we're going to start off by taking a look at what's happened over the last 12 hours, and clouds developing in two particular places. First of all, we can see them developing over the northern regions of Namibia. Secondly, though, and take a look at this, a lot of clouds developing, particularly this morning, just off the eastern coastline of South Africa. Now there's very good reason for that, and that is a low pressure system which is currently sitting over that area, and it's causing a lot of moisture to just rotate around that area. In fact, it's penetrating again into the eastern interior, and that's causing an 80% chance of thundershowers just over the eastern interior. There's 60% chance surrounding that system, with most of the subcontinent expecting at least a 30% chance of showers or thundershowers this afternoon. Very similar conditions tomorrow, other than a high pressure system which has now moved slightly into the eastern coastline of South Africa. Now that's withdrawn the 80%, now only a 60% chance of thundershowers in that very same region. Low pressure system is moving off into the ocean, and we're now left with isolated to scattered thundershowers throughout the entire area. Now let's take a look at what you can expect for your weather today. Now in your temperatures, quite warm temperatures expected throughout the northeastern areas, temperatures of about 24 degrees in Bethlehem. They're quite warm along the coastline as well. Durban at 30 degrees and Pietermaritzburg a high of 29. But take a look at Uppington, once again very, very warm there, a 37-degree high this afternoon. Now moving further south along the southern coast, temperatures dipping down into the 20s largely throughout that region. 20s as well in the southern interior. Cape Town a high of 27 degrees and Richards Bay getting quite warm as well. Now as we take a look at the southern regions of Namibia, temperatures in the 30s once again present throughout the interior regions, temperatures in the 20s along the coastline. Clouds developing all the way throughout this area, in fact getting quite dense as we move further north. Oshakati and Tsumeb are quite dark this afternoon. Unfortunately, very dense cloud cover present over that area. Now the capital Windhoek is at a high of 28 degrees. It will be raining this afternoon, only a 30% chance of thundershowers there though. As we take a look at Botswana now, moving further east, this is in fact where a lot of cloud is developing over Maun as well as Ganzi, 30 degrees and 29 degrees respectively in those areas. Chabong a 31-degree high, isolated thundershowers over that area with partly cloudy to mostly cloudy conditions forecast moving further east. Despite that though, temperatures